The 9th defendant in the Ohio University hazing death appeared in court today. And in sports, Ohio women's basketball team made another statement win last week. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Taylor Bruck. Thank you for joining us. An investigation is ongoing after a reported murder-suicide early this morning in Hocking County. According to the Hocking County Sheriff's Office, a 911 call was made this morning reporting that 34-year-old Natalie Nutter of Logan had been abducted by her estranged husband. Deputies located Nutter and her husband, 34-year-old Kevin Nutter, driving down Maysville-Williams Road. A short chase ensued before Kevin stopped the vehicle in a driveway and shot his wife, then himself. Both were pronounced dead on the scene. The final defendant in the case surrounding the death of an Ohio University student will stand trial early February. 20-year-old Joshua Thomas Andrusak was arraigned in court today. He is charged with 5 felonies, including involuntary manslaughter and 2 counts of trafficking harmful intoxicants. Andrusak pleaded not guilty on all counts. The charges stem from the death of Colin Wyant, who died last year of asphyxiation caused by nitrous oxide ingestion during an alleged hazing incident. The Ohio Supreme Court will hear a case deciding whether or not teachers and principals can be sued when a child is bullied under their supervision. The case involves a kindergartner who reportedly punctured a classmate's cheek with a pencil in Toledo. Teachers and administrators had been notified of previous bullying prior to the incident. The employees' lawyers argue that educators who responded appropriately to bullying could face costly litigation unless a decision is overturned. The Ohio Supreme Court will hear an appeal from the city of Columbus, which is fighting to keep its ban on bump stocks. Bump stocks are an accessory for assault rifles, which allows the weapons to fire more rapidly. The court ruled 4-3 last week in favor of hearing the case. Bump stocks have been banned in Columbus since last year. The Supreme Court will hear arguments against gun activist Gary Witt, who was allowed by an appeals court to challenge the ban. A man is dead following an altercation in Jefferson County late Saturday evening. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office tells WTOV a 47-year-old Oklahoma man was involved in the altercation and then died shortly after. Police say that during the fight, the man fell and hit his head on a piece of furniture. The two continued fighting until they both walked outside, where the man collapsed and later died. According to investigators, at this time it looks like the man inside the home was acting in self-defense, so no one is currently facing any charges. The incident remains under investigation. Ohio plans to use a system developed in Idaho that lets sexual assault survivors anonymously track the processing and testing of rape kits collected as evidence. Legislators last year approved use of this free tracking system that allows victims to track their kits on a web portal. The law also requires use by medical facilities, law enforcement, and labs once it's operational. Ohio officials haven't specified what information will be available to victims and haven't provided a timeline yet. After striking a major settlement with one of the 3 biggest U.S. drug distributors, Cuyahoga County has set up a special fund for the money. The County Council approved of the creation of the Opioid Mitigation Fund this week. The idea was created to ensure the settlement money does not get mixed in with the county general fund, as they want the money to be used for opioid-related purposes. The county won $179 million in cash settlements from the lawsuit. Check your fridge. Kentucky-based Bluegrass Quality Meats is recalling bacon and ready-to-eat turkey products over misbranding and undeclared allergens. It has recalled more than 121,000 pounds of food because they contain soy, something that isn't declared on product labels. The USDA announced this recall on Friday. All of the recalled products are Cajun-styled, produced between October 29, 2018 and November 19, 2019. They were sold at stores in Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. The turkey products may have been offered as retail sliced deli product. No one has reported getting sick from the products. Huntington, West Virginia Police Chief Hank Dial and his fellow officers have been chosen as the Grand Marshals of the city's annual Christmas Parade. The city's Chamber of Commerce says the Christmas Parade of Lights in downtown Huntington will take place on December 7th at 5:30 p.m. The parade will start at 12th Street and finish at the corner of Pullman Plaza and 10th Street.
Hello, I'm forecaster Ed Lake Carwish here, and right now it is 36 degrees outside with humidity at 84%. It's been raining for most of the day today, but we finally got some dry weather. Pressure at 29.89, winds coming from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it's been an all right day today. It's been a little cold, been a little gloomy outside. Take a look right now at all over southeastern Ohio. Columbus at 35, Chillicothe at 35, Ripley at 37, and New Lexington at 35. So it's all around, it's been a quite wet and cold day. It's not been that great outside. It won't really get much better tonight. 28 degrees is the low. It's going to be cloudy. There's going to be some rain and snow possible early, but it should be dry for most of the night. It's going to be mostly wet and cold still. And winds coming from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let me tell you, Taylor, it's just been a gloomy weekend, and it continues on Monday. And it's finally going to get sunny outside here coming up in the next couple of days, so that will be nice for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep that cold away a bit longer. Thank you, Adlai. Kentucky Governor-elect Andy Beshear announced key appointments in his new administration today. Beshear says his running mate Jacqueline Coleman will serve as Secretary of Education. Longtime State Representative Rocky Adkins is to serve as his senior advisor. Beshear also announced that former Lexington Mayor Jim Gray will serve as Transportation Secretary. West Virginians can now purchase hunting and fishing licenses. The Division of Natural Resources started the sale on Sunday to allow for holiday purchases and early renewals. Governor Jim Justice says anyone purchasing a license before the start of the new year will be entered to win a free lifetime license or a vacation to a West Virginia state park. One student exchanged a gun today at a high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And President Trump is traveling abroad this week after denying to give a testimony in the impeachment hearings. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Many of the world's most breathtaking landmarks have been inspired by faith. These sites of divine worship remain the focus of deep spiritual significance and extraordinary acts of devotion, rarely seen by outsiders. Discover the amazing stories and the incredible people that surround Earth's sacred wonders. Available with PBS Passport starting November 30th.
What if I said there's an entirely new life stage that offers a 2, 3, and maybe even a 4-decade opportunity to reinvent yourself, to live with passion, to find your purpose? Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next brings you world-renowned experts, real-life examples, and all the tools you need to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Don't miss Launchpad to What's Next.
The legends of 1950s and early 60s pop return to the PBS stage in an all-new My Music special.
To spend one night with you in our old rendezvous. Hey, go party. Go party.
I'm Miranda Esmond-White. In this program, I reveal the 6 simple steps to starting your journey on the fast track to aging backwards. After hearing from many of you who were unsure how to implement the process of aging backwards, I laid out this easy-to-follow formula. I explain how you can increase your energy, reboot your brain, and relieve pain.
A school spokesman says a student exchanged gunfire with a school resource officer at a suburban Milwaukee high school. The suspect is in custody. Terry Schuster told the Associated Press there's no threat to Waukesha South High School. She doesn't know of any injuries to students. She didn't know the medical status of the suspect. Waukesha police responded to South High School around 11 a.m. on Monday. The state of Tennessee is preparing to execute a blind man this week. Lee Hall is scheduled to be electrocuted Thursday. Hall had his sight when he entered death row nearly 3 decades ago, but attorneys for the 53-year-old prisoner says he's since become functionally blind due to improperly treated glaucoma. Hall has been on death row since he was convicted for the 1991 killing of his estranged girlfriend, Tracy Crozier. He has decided to die by the electric chair, a choice allowed for death row inmates who were convicted before January 1999. A lawsuit alleges that former Roman Catholic Cardinal Theodore McCarrick abused a teenage boy in the 1990s when he was a leader of the Archdiocese of Newark, New Jersey. The lawsuit was one of at least 2 announced Monday, the day after a New Jersey law went into effect giving victims more time to sue abusers. The law allows child victims to sue until they turn 55 or within 7 years of their first realization the abuse caused them harm. The previous limit was 2 years. Authorities are seeking murder and other charges against a man they say shot 3 officers and killed a 22-year-old father after taking him hostage inside his southwestern Michigan home. Christopher Neal was at his Comstock Township home Sunday night watching television with his wife and daughter when the suspect broke in. The suspect was captured as he tried to flee. Kalamazoo County Sheriff Richard Fuller says Neal was new to the area. His wife and child are okay. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says he never spoke with President Donald Trump from a quid pro quo. Trump later claimed in a tweet that Zelensky had said Trump had done nothing wrong. Zelensky did not say that outright in a Time interview published Monday. He claimed that he didn't talk to Trump in terms of quid pro quo because he didn't want Ukraine to seem like beggars. The July 25th phone call is at the center of the House impeachment. The New York Times reports that on Wednesday, a panel of lawyers will discuss impeachable offenses and what to expect moving forward. President Trump and his lawyers declined an invitation to take part in the House's impeachment hearing this week. They say they believe the president would not get a semblance of a fair process. While the impeachment process rolls on, the president is heading out of the country. John Lornick reports.
President Trump left the White House Monday for a NATO trip, packing little patience for the House impeachment process happening without him.
This is one of the most important journeys that we make as president. And for them to be doing this and saying this and putting an impeachment on the table, which is a hoax to start off with.
Criticism continued in tweets, showing Air Force One leaving for NATO's anniversary while calling Democrats not nice for scheduling impeachment work now. Democrats disagree.
This White House has blocked us every step of the way and then wants to cry that the process is unfair. So we have more than enough evidence to move forward with impeachment.
The week is packed with potential impeachment steps. Monday, House Intelligence Committee members review findings about whether President Trump sought a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Tuesday, the intelligence panel votes whether to send the report to the House Judiciary Committee. Wednesday, that committee has scheduled a hearing about constitutional grounds for impeachment. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, also in Europe for the United Nations Climate Change Summit, said she would not talk about impeachment there.
When we travel abroad, we don't talk about the president in a negative way, and we save that for home.
Plenty of politics clearly waiting in Washington for the president's return. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
President Trump is accused of abusing his power in order to get political dirt on presidential candidate Joe Biden and his son Hunter. The House Judiciary Panel is expected to have multiple public hearings, eventually considering articles of impeachment. A House vote could come before Christmas. New York is in a state of emergency after a snowstorm. That story's still ahead.
And coming up in weather, it's been pretty good outside. It's been pretty gloomy outside, but better days are yet to come. That, and here's your stats of local interest.
Many of the world's most breathtaking landmarks have been inspired by faith. These sites of divine worship remain the focus of deep spiritual significance and extraordinary acts of devotion rarely seen by outsiders. Discover the amazing stories and the incredible people that surround Earth's sacred wonders. Available with PBS Passport starting November 30th.
I'm Miranda Esmond-White. In this program, I reveal the 6 simple steps to starting your journey on the fast track to aging backwards. After hearing from many of you who were unsure how to implement the process of aging backwards, I laid out this easy-to-follow formula. I explain how you can increase your energy, reboot your brain, and relieve pain.
Ken Burns and his brilliant team at Florentine Films has taken on one of the pillars of American culture, country music.
It's a great Russian novel of a story. You meet layer upon layer of characters, generation upon generation of families.
Ken is a great unifier. It's not just about the music, it is about who we are as Americans.
Please join me, Kathy Mattea, for Ken Burns Country Music.
What if I said there's an entirely new life stage that offers a 2, 3, and maybe even a 4-decade opportunity to reinvent yourself, to live with passion, to find your purpose? Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next brings you world-renowned experts, real-life examples, and all the tools you need to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Don't miss Launchpad to What's Next.
Hello, welcome back to Newswatch. I'm forecaster Adlai Karwish, and right now in Athens it is 36 degrees. It's been quite a gloomy day outside. It's been some rain, there's been some drizzle there, been rain pockets there. Humidity at 84%, pressure at 29.89 inches. Winds coming from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So looking all around southeastern Ohio, Columbus at 35, New Lexington at 35, Jackson at 36, Ripley at 37. So all around into the mid to upper 30s. Taking a look at the temperature map today, you see all around it's been pretty cold for basically the East Coast. It's all around pretty cold. So, most places are in the 30s, even down towards Tennessee. You see places in the 30s. It only really starts getting into the 40s once you start hitting like Atlanta and southern Georgia. So you see all around it's basically in the 30s, 35, 30. You take a look at tonight here. 28 degrees, rain and snow possible early. It's still going to be wet and cold. Winds coming from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So don't worry about the rain and snow. Snow is not going to really affect much. It's going to be, if it does snow, it's going to be quite wet, but just be ready for that. We'll take a look all around southeastern Ohio. New Lexington at 28. Columbus will go down to 28. Chillicothe to 28. Ripley will go up to 30, and New Martinsville, the highest one out of all of them, will go just down to 32 degrees for tonight. So all around in the upper 20s to a couple towns in the low 30s. So not too, pretty cold tonight. We're going to take a look at tomorrow in Athens. We're going to start at 8 a.m. It's going to be a cold for the morning rush, 29 degrees, but you will see a couple pockets of sun outside, first time in a while, but that will not last for very long. By noontime, the clouds will really cover up most of the sun that we get in that early morning, and it will be above freezing though, and by the time 4 p.m. those kids get off of school and you're almost done with work, it'll be 38 degrees, and it'll be pretty cloudy for the afternoon, so it won't be too bad. Tomorrow, 38 degrees. It'll be a cloudy day. There's going to be a slight chance of rain, but shouldn't too much. If it does rain, it's going to be like a drizzle or something. Take a look at southeastern Ohio, Columbus at 38, New Lexington at 38, and Chillicothe at 35. So all around in the upper to even 40. Take a look at the precip map tonight. You're going to see there's some snow in West Virginia, some couple flurries in West Virginia, but you're going to see mostly cloudy skies. There's really not much going on in this area, mostly just clouds. You take a look at tomorrow, you just see all that area, mostly just cloudy skies. You might get a few pockets of sun in the early morning, but if we take a look at the 7-day outlook here, you really just see all around. It's been cloudy, but once you hit Wednesday and Thursday, you might actually see some sun. It might be mostly sunny. We're going to see 46, and 44 on Friday, and the weekend's looking quite nice. But 55 on Monday, it's the highest day, but there will be some rain in the question. Taylor, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Adlai. A Sunday snowstorm leads a state of emergency in Utica, New York. The snow already causing multiple issues on the roadways. Crews have been out treating the roads before and during the storm. The snow emergency means that there is no unnecessary travel throughout the area to allow snowplows to clear the roads. In residential areas, cars parked on the roads past 10 p.m. Eastern will be towed.
Declaration of a state of emergency allows more flexibility for the state government working with the local governments to make sure we can deploy resources where we need to deploy resources.
In Verona Beach, New York, people have already seen 7 inches of snow, with more to come. Amanda Chin has more.
First major snowfall of the season is here, and many areas of central New York had several inches of snow, with more expected overnight and into tomorrow morning. The eastern part of central New York has the most so far, where people in Oneida County could see more than 9 inches by the end of this storm. Sarah Matz lived in Verona Beach for many years. She was out taking the snow off of her cars.
Oh, I'm so used to it. I don't even have gloves on. I'm like, oh, let's just move our cars quick. 20 minutes later, I'll be fine.
The same goes for Hunter Allen, who's been coming to Verona Beach for 25 years.
Same thing every year. It's not bad. You get used to it.
Sarah's husband has to get to work early tomorrow, so the prep started early for them.
He's got to work early, so that's why we're out here shoveling now. I don't have to work till later, but can't let him have all the fun in the snow.
Hunter's wife also needs to commute tomorrow morning.
My wife has to go to work in the morning, so I wanted to get the plow went by, so it's time to get the snow out away from the back of her car for her.
Sarah says when it comes to the weather, she'd much rather be in the cold weather than be in the heat.
Well, because I can put on a sweater, but that's about it. When you're hot, you're hot. I'm good in this climate.
Sarah says her family got out of town early this morning to beat the storm.
Yeah, they were just ahead of it, driving down south for the winter, so I told Mom she got out just in time because winter is officially here.
Sarah says she's now ready for the winter ahead.
Yeah, I told him, we got to put the snow shovel by the front door now because we're going to have to get a path to the car made. Winter's officially here.
I'm Nick Veland. The Ohio women's basketball team traveled to Daytona Beach to play in the Daytona Beach Invitational. Find out how they did next. Stay tuned to WOUB. And here's a look up at what's coming tonight on your public television station.
What if I said there's an entirely new life stage that offers a 2, 3, and maybe even a 4-decade opportunity to reinvent yourself, to live with passion, to find your purpose? Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next brings you world-renowned experts, real-life examples, and all the tools you need to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Don't miss Launchpad to What's Next.
Many of the world's most breathtaking landmarks have been inspired by faith. These sites of divine worship remain the focus of deep spiritual significance and extraordinary acts of devotion, rarely seen by outsiders. Discover the amazing stories and the incredible people that surround Earth's Sacred Wonders. Available with PBS Passport starting November 30th.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Join me this holiday season for a colorful musical celebration of Christmas all across Europe. We'll explore festive markets, enjoy glorious local choirs, toast tasty holiday traditions with family and friends, and find some time to play in the snow. Along the way, we'll have some fun in the studio, sharing the latest tips about traveling smartly. It's my 2-hour holiday special, European Christmas.
I'm Miranda Esmond-White. In this program, I reveal the 6 simple steps to starting your journey on the fast track to aging backwards. After After hearing from many of you who were unsure how to implement the process of aging backwards, I laid out this easy-to-follow formula. I explain how you can increase your energy, reboot your brain, and relieve pain.
Welcome back. I'm Nick Veland. The Ohio women's basketball team went beaching over their Thanksgiving break, but it was all business as usual as they took down their second Power 5 team this season. The Bobcats traveled down to Florida for their Daytona Beach Invitational. Ohio made another statement win this season in their first game as they took down Pittsburgh 72-50. Gabby Burris had a season high of 17 points in that matchup, but in the second matchup, the Bobcats fell to Butler 60-55. Amani Burke led the way though with 30 points, as well as Cece Hook stole the show with 2 steals that gave her the career steals record at Ohio with 231. After a long time away from the Convocation Center, the men's basketball team returned home on Saturday and got the victory over Detroit Mercy 91-81. Ohio took a 16-point lead into the second half, but Detroit Mercy didn't back down as they brought it within 1 with 4 minutes to go. Bobcats found a way to win as Jordan Dars finishes the day with 26 points, and Ohio will stay in town on Wednesday as their next matchup is against Rio Grande. With Ohio's 52-3 victory over Akron last Tuesday, the Bobcats have become bowl eligible for the 11th straight year. Now it's one of the toughest parts of the season. They'll wait to see if you're in or you're out, and if you are in, where are you off to? Ohio stands with a 6-6 record for the regular season, and they believe they deserve a spot in the postseason. After the regular season ended Saturday, 79 NCAA teams are bowl eligible, and there are 78 potential bowl game spots. Buffalo announced yesterday that they will be playing the Bahamas Bowl, making them the first MAC team to announce that they have been selected for a postseason bowl. As for now, we'll have to wait to see what's next for their 2019 season.
Not one to be a bean counter in terms of trying to figure out how many teams are going to be bowl eligible, how many teams are not. You know, we're where we're at. I love this football team. They can play great football, and I'd be glad to take them anywhere and play anybody. I mean, they're an excellent group of guys. They prepared well every week for their competition. But you know, saying all that, we'll accept what happens and just hope for the best.
All eyes have been on Joe Burrow's historic 2019 season, and as the season ended for Burrow Saturday, he'll get geared up for another big test as the former Athens High School quarterback will lead the LSU Tigers in the SEC Championship game against the Georgia Bulldogs. Burrow's historic season continues to draw national attention Saturday as they will face off against the Georgia Bulldogs, and he led the way on Saturday against Texas A&M with 4,366 passing yards, and throughout the season he has 44 throwing touchdowns, which is the most in LSU history. 5-time SEC Player of the Week will also be in the race for the Heisman Trophy, and Burrow will lead the Tigers into Mercedes-Benz Stadium for LSU's first appearance since 2011, where the Tigers beat the Bulldogs 42-10. Will history repeat itself, or will Georgia have something else in mind for Burrow and the Tigers? And Taylor, everyone in Athens will be watching the local QB on the national stage.
Yeah, that is great. What a great story of a hometown kid. Thank you, Nick. The Columbus Zoo and Aquarium is celebrating the birth of a polar bear cub. The zoo says the cub was born early Thursday morning to 13-year-old Aurora. The zoo says polar bear newborns have a low survival rate in their early weeks. Employees are monitoring the cub's care using cameras in a private den area. Officials say the cub has been nursing and Aurora is attentive. The bears are expected to remain out of public view until spring. Aurora has 3 surviving offspring from previous litters. Those bears now live at zoos in Utah, Maryland, and Wisconsin. Now over to Adley for a final look at the weather.
All right, tonight 28 degrees outside, rain and snow possible early. It's going to be wet and cold, so it won't be too bad tonight, but there could be some rain and snow. Taking a look at the 7-day outlook here, and Taylor, I'll send it back to you.
All right, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. My name is Taylor Bruck. Have a great night.